Hello, hello. I'm Dr. Monica Tillett. I'm a doctor of physical therapy, but I'm also a functional nutrition counselor, and I'm the owner of New Direction Rehabilitation and Wellness. And we are a holistic wellness company that combines physical movement and functional nutrition to help empower adults to heal their bodies through movement, nutrition, and then also education. So I'm going to be starting to do lives to just help present information that could be helpful to you. And also today it's on a Thursday, but I'm going to switch them to the first Monday of each month. It'll be at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time or 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And so it'll just be something short, just presenting on topics that can help benefit not just your physical wellness, but your nutritional wellness. I want to start by just putting a disclaimer out there. I'm a physical therapist and a functional nutrition counselor. I'm not a dietitian and I'm not a nutritionist. They have different credentials, different lanes, things that they're looking at. So I am not going to give you individualized, food plans and count calories for you and tell you what you need to do to lose weight. What my role is as a physical therapist and a certified functional nutrition counselor is to educate on movement and educate on how nutrition, different foods that we eat, affect our body and how we can use those foods to help promote optimal physical function. And so I've been a physical therapist. For those of you who don't know me, I've been a physical therapist for 18 years, mostly helping the geriatric population regain independence, regain strength so they can function independently at home and in their community. Well, starting last year actually is when I made the official move to go from doing home therapy to a more online based programming system that can allow all adults, not just older adults, to go through our programs at their own pace. And I've also opened up one on one options for those who want direct coaching from me for different physical conditions that they're having. But today, we're going to talk about how our nutrition affects our muscles and our bones. Because as we age, our bodies do change. And you may have heard that, as you age, it's normal to lose your muscle mass. It's normal for your bones to be brittle. It's normal for you to fall and those types of things. That is just part of getting older. And while some of that may be true, it's not entirely true. So as we age, starting at age 40, we do start to lose muscle. Our bones do begin to change. However, we can alter that process. We can help slow that down by our exercise that we're doing, how much we're doing, the type of exercise we're doing. But the most critical piece, I feel, is the nutrition. And as I've been working with clients for 18 years, that's one thing that I have seen to really affect their physical function the most. We can strengthen all day long. We can work on balance all day long. We can work on pain management all day long. But if your nutrition is counteracting what we're doing, say you're not getting enough calories, or say you're getting the wrong types of food that is causing inflammation and not giving your muscles in your bones what it needs to thrive and to build, then it's not going to be as effective. And I just saw that there was a need to pull this type of information into the training that I'm doing with my clients. So yes, you will start to lose muscle as you get older. Yes, your bones will start to change, but let's counteract that with exercise and nutrition. So with exercise, you may know this, you may not, but the CDC recommends that we get about 150 minutes a week of exercise. So whether that's 30 minutes 5 times a week, or maybe you want to work out a little bit more and maybe an hour twice a week and then add 30 minutes in somewhere. Do what works best for you. You can't always go by what's recommended. You want to you figure out what is something that you can stick with consistently. But the main thing to do is just move. Find something you can do. If you can't get in a structured routine, then do functional activities like, walk a little bit more in the store, park further away in the parking lot, take the steps instead of the elevators. I know, we've heard these things so many times, but when there are so many excuses as to why we don't exercise, then you do have to kind of revert back to those simple things. Sometimes it's not about reinventing the wheel. It's about just getting the wheel moving. So find something that you can do, that you can enjoy, that will allow you to build strength and move consistently. You'll see me looking at my notes so I can stay on task. So nutrition, let's start there. Nutrition, as we briefly just hit on it, it plays a major role in how strong and healthy our muscles and bones stay and how our bodies move every day. The three main things that I want to point out as it relates to nutrition is protein, hydration, and vitamin C. The first thing we'll start with is protein. Protein is important for building our muscles, but also maintaining our muscles. And protein is also has research has shown that it helps make our bones stronger as well. So with our protein, we want to, yes, look at chicken, fish, lean beef, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, those sorts of things. We know what proteins are. However, it's the type of protein that we're getting in. Are we eating fried chicken? Are we eating fried fish? It's the fried versus the grilled. So grilled is great. It's not just because it's lower in calories and it's lower in fat, which is what we need, but the fat that's in the fried foods and in the fried fish, when it gets to our digestive tract and in our intestines, whereas the last place that the food gets to in order for our body to absorb the nutrients, that's how we get our energy. That's how our muscles get fed and our tissues get fed. But the fat, it covers the intestine. It covers the part that pulls the nutrients out that where we can get them and use them. And so if the fat is covering the part that the nutrients come through, then the protein that we ate isn't benefiting us. So it's important to really balance what you're eating. It's not just about protein or the type of protein you're eating, but how is that protein cooked? So just remember that. And then also, don't overload your system with too much protein at one time. You should have protein in each meal, but it shouldn't just be an overload of protein. and no carbs and no vegetables, because too much protein at one time is actually hard on your digestive system to break it down. So try and break your protein up throughout each meal. I mentioned just a few minutes ago that protein has been proven to help improve bone strength, but it's protein in addition to calcium and vitamin D. Those three kind of work together to help with building bone strength. Um, and so I just thought that was interesting. It wasn't something that I was really aware of until I delved a little bit deeper into nutrition. Now let's talk about vitamin C and how it relates to the health of our muscle and bones. Normally, we've heard of vitamin C really just helping our immune system, but vitamin C actually helps our body produce collagen. And collagen is what our joints use for shock absorption. It's what our tendons use and our ligaments use to help stay strong. And if we don't have enough collagen in our body, then our muscles aren't going to repair the way that it needs to. Our tissues aren't going to repair, and you may start feeling more pain in your joints, like the knees and the ankles, or your joints may start to feel a little unstable, and that could be due to maybe your muscles aren't strong enough, but it could also be due to your muscles don't have, that adequate collagen that it needs to be stronger. So think about vitamin C as you're taking in the different nutrients throughout the day. Also, some just in case you don't know other foods that you can get vitamin C from. You can get it from kale, broccoli, melons, bell peppers, strawberries, kiwi. So it's not just oranges. There's some other things too. Google, Chat GPT. They're great resources to just kind of just get some ideas about what foods you can eat to get more vitamin C. The last thing I want to talk about as it relates to healthy muscle and bones is hydration, water, H2O, not Kool-Aid or sodas or anything else. Tea, it has water in it, but it's not what the body needs to actually be hydrated. And so what's interesting and that you may not know is that our muscles are comprised of about 70 to 75% water. So if we're not getting enough water, then we're trying to build strength, we're trying to work out, and we're sweating. And so the little bit of water that we did have in our system is now being depleted. And so our muscles doesn't have what it needs to get stronger or remain flexible. And it can also make you cause you to have more muscle cramps and more fatigue when you're exercising or even post workout. So, getting enough water is essential. And I want to put this little bug in there too. We'll talk about it more in upcoming videos, but water is essential for digestion, for breathing, everything that our body uses to function or needs to function. It starts with water. So get enough water. And so, how do you know? This is a question from my clients, frequently is how do I know that I'm getting enough water? Well, because I work with the older population, you can see in their skin many times if they are not getting enough water because it's very thin, or if you touch your skin, you pull it up and it doesn't go right back down like that. That's called the skin test. Then they're not getting enough water. But for younger people, you may just feel thirsty. You may feel very tired. Um, But another thing to look at is the color of your urine. If it's a medium yellow to a dark yellow, you need to drink more water. You want it to be on the lighter side, and then you'll know that the water that you're getting in each day is adequate for you. We used to hear drink 8 glasses of water a day, but for everyone it's different. And so the main focus is finding what works for you. Let's see. The last thing in general to think about, we talked about thinking about the types of food that you're eating, whether it's fried versus grilled, because of the fried foods affecting digestion and nutrient absorption. Well, inflammation is another thing that can affect how our muscles heal and how we can build muscle. And inflammation can be caused by the foods that we eat, not just by, a sickness or an acute injury. There are certain foods that research has shown will put our body in a mode of inflammation, meaning that the body is trying to use its resources to heal itself. And that is sugar, excess sugar. So, not just eating an apple or a banana, that's not going to throw your body into a mode of inflammation. It's the extra sugar and like sugar and candy and cakes and pies and all those things. That sugar is not helpful to the body. The sugar in fruits is helpful to the body. So, too much of the wrong type of sugar, too much of processed foods, so canned foods, foods that are outside of their original form, are considered processed foods, fast foods, those types of foods. But then also dairy. Dairy, I know many people use as a healthy source of protein, like Greek yogurt, eggs, um, those different types of things, cheese. But too much dairy can actually cause chronic inflammation in the body. And I know for me, when I started to decrease the amount of dairy that consume, I still eat dairy, I just don't eat a lot of it. My body felt better. And so you just want to be mindful about those things. And people just don't know, which is why I'm here to fill in the gap. It's not just about medications. It's not just about losing weight. It's not just about exercise, but it's the why. So if we know why certain foods cause certain reactions in our body, then we start to be mindful about what we're bringing into our body. So, choosing whole grains, fruits, vegetables, fish, beans, nuts, healthy fats like avocados or olive oil, those types of things are going to be beneficial for your body if they are foods that you can eat. So, because everyone is different. Some people can't eat nuts. Some people can't eat, whole grains because of gluten. So, try it out, see what works best for you. You can also talk to your healthcare provider or even a nutritionist and a dietitian if you're looking for someone to help give you individualized guidance on what you need to be eating. So, to wrap it up, movement and nutrition work hand in hand. It's not separate of each other. We need proper nutrition to give our bodies what they need to build, grow, and function properly. You can't outrun your fork. So, you can't outrun your fork. I mean, there's no way to really explain that other than that. And I just think that that merges everything together really well. And health isn't built in one meal or one workout. It's built through consistency and also remembering that small choices every day add up over time. So if you're interested in learning more information about how nutrition can affect affect your physical function, I have a free course for you. This took some time to put together. And I went back and forth about, do I make it free? Do I charge for it? But I wanted to make it free because I wanted to start, just increasing the awareness on how foods affect the different systems in our body, our cognition, our immune system, our cardiovascular system, our muscles, bones, nerves, all of that. And you can enroll in that on my website at newdirectionrehab.com. And it's completely free. Work through it at your own pace. But if you're looking for something to build your strength, build your balance, help you walk better, I have two great programs. One is called the Balance Jumpstart. That's a 4-week program. But then a more comprehensive program is my Sure Step program. Y'all, it will get you strong. It will get you walking better. It is so comprehensive. It starts with beginning, it goes through intermediate, and then it goes through advanced levels. And there are many exercises that you can do. And I show you how to do modifications to exercise, some of the exercises, so that you can do them safely. But join me every Monday. The first Monday of the month, we're going to go through different topics. And next month, August, which is Monday, is the first Monday of the month. So I'll be back on Monday, August 3rd. But we're going to talk about inflammation and chronic pain. So I look forward to connecting with you. My contact information is in the description. And eat well, live well, do more.